So hello everyone and welcome. Thanks for joining us for today's webinar, which is focused on Copilot for marketing. I'm Johnny, the head of sales here at Enhance, and I'll be hosting today's session. So please post any questions you have in the chat at any time, and we'll cover as many as we can at the end. And we'll share a recording of the webinar afterwards. So for those of you who don't know Enhanced, we are an IT managed service provider based in Poole. We are employee owned and we've been helping businesses with their IT for over 30 years. Enhanced are a Microsoft partner that provides outsourced IT, infrastructure project engineering, cybersecurity services, as well as Microsoft Business Central finance systems. Today, I'm joined by Abby from our marketing team to give us her thoughts from a marketing perspective, and Neil, one of our senior engineers, and Neil's built the Copilot agent that we'll show you later on in the session. So today is about connecting creativity with efficiency. So we'll talk about how Copilot helps marketers move faster without compromising quality or output. So I'll start with where Copilot makes the biggest difference in day-to-day work, then clarify the distinction between Copilot for Microsoft 365 and Copilot agents. From there, we'll move to a practical example, what a Copilot agent built for marketing actually looks like in action. And after that, we'll be chatting with Abby about how Copilot and AI in general is impacting marketing teams, with time at the end for any questions. So how do we use AI to connect creativity and efficiency? Copilot is not just about working faster, but creating more space for better thinking and stronger marketing output. Marketing teams are being asked to deliver more content, respond faster, prove impact, and stay consistent across channels, often without extra resource. Copilot can help by reducing manual effort, making it easier to work with data and content, and freeing up time for the strategic and creative work that really moves the needle. So here are some examples. Market research. So Copilot can quickly analyze large volumes of data and trends, helping marketing uncover insights and make informed decisions faster. Strategy and planning. Copilot can help marketing teams turn research, campaign data, and meeting notes into clearer plans faster. From summarizing insights to drafting briefs, timelines, and channel plans, it gives teams a stronger starting point so they can spend more time making strategic choices and less time pulling the plan together. Content creation. So Copilot helps you generate, refine, and scale high-quality content, turning ideas into on-brand assets in minutes. Productivity. Copilot can help free marketers from the low-value manual tasks like summarizing meetings, drafting first-pass content, and pulling information together so they can spend more time on creative and strategic work. Audience segmentation. So Copilot makes it easier to build and refine audience segments, helping you target the right people with greater precision. And campaign performance. So Copilot can track and analyze campaign data, enabling you to optimize performance and adapt quickly for better results. So before we move on to the demo, I thought it would be useful to clarify the difference between Copilot for Microsoft 365 and Copilot agents. So Copilot for Microsoft 365 is your everyday assistant embedded inside the Office apps you already use. It helps you draft, summarize, and turn information into outputs faster in documents, spreadsheets, emails, meetings, and chats. Think of it as a highly capable PA sitting next to you while we work. So we're not going to spend any time on that today. That was the subject of our previous webinar. So Copilot agents. So Copilot agents are different. They're built for process. You design them to follow a specific workflow, apply your rules, and connect to your systems. So instead of just helping you write something, an agent can guide a task end to end. Think of them as an employee who's been trained to handle one specific job really well. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Neil to show us the Copilot agent he's built.
Hello everyone. I'm going to be walking through a custom agent that we've created in Copilot Studio to assist marketing teams. Before we look at the agent in action, I want to start off by explaining the purpose of this agent and how it's been set up in Copilot Studio. The Brief Creator agent is designed to simplify and standardize how marketing campaign briefs are created. It starts off by pulling in the organization's marketing strategy from SharePoint. then either works with a user's idea or generates campaign concepts aligned to the marketing strategy document. Once a concept is confirmed, the agent automatically builds out a structured campaign brief using the official template covering the key details such as objectives, audience, KPIs, delivery approach, and timeline. The result is a consistent, high-quality brief that's ready for execution. And if needed, it can also create a planner task list to help teams deliver the campaign end-to-end by assigning tasks to the relevant users to keep things on track. Right now, we're in Copilot Studio. This is where we build, test, and deploy Copilot agents. Copilot Studio has recently been updated, and I'm loving the new simplified layout and improved agent orchestrator. It's more user-friendly and certain features have been changed or improved. As you can see, we have the agent that we've created for this demo, the Brief Creator agent. Let's dive deeper into the Brief Creator agent so we understand the inner workings and how it performs its tasks. We can see the instructions that we've provided. We've explained its general guidelines, skills, and step-by-step instructions of how to perform tasks, as well as a set of rules to ensure the agent only performs tasks that are part of the instructions. On the right-hand side, we have the settings for this agent. We have used the Claude Sonnet 4.6 model, as this model is great for general everyday tasks, including document generation. A recent change in the new version of Copilot Studio is the addition of skills. You can think of skills as a playbook, a predefined set of rules for a task the agent will perform time and time again. Adding skills helps the agent perform tasks in a consistent, predictable way. It also improves the time taken for the responses, as it already knows the logical steps needed to get the task done. Tools have been added to this agent to give it features such as populating a Word document from a template, as well as creating and updating tasks and planner, which we will see in action during this demo. We have given the agent two knowledge sources, a SharePoint site which contains the hypothetical marketing strategy for Vertex Edge, our fictitious managed service provider for this demo. This document will help the agent understand the business's direction for future marketing campaigns and ensure that its responses align with business's objectives and target audience. We also have a Word document template that we have uploaded to the agent, which will be used to populate with details of the intended marketing campaign that we proceed with. We have added suggested prompts to the agent that will be shown to the user in the chat to help get a conversation started with ease by having a predefined topic to discuss. Now that we've seen a high-level overview of how the Brief agent is configured, let's dive into a live demonstration to show you how the agent works in practice. This is the test pane, which can be used for testing agents before they're published. I want to show you interactions using this view, as we're able to see what the agent is doing in the background after each prompt. The end user won't see the agent's pause, but for the purpose of this demo, I thought it would be good to see it. We will start off by asking the agent for campaign ideas using the suggested prompt that we have predefined. We can now see the agent searching its knowledge sources for the strategy document to ensure the ideas align with the business's objectives. This helps ground the agent based on trusted knowledge sources. It's now provided a list of campaign ideas based on Vertex Edge's marketing strategy. It has given us different ideas as well as a brief description of each idea to help us choose a campaign to proceed with. I would like to proceed with, is your business actually secure? So I asked the agent to create a campaign brief document using this idea. Again, we can see the agent thinking in the background. It is called the campaign brief document skill to assist in the creation of the brief document. This skill helps the agent create the document with predefined instructions and saves the agent having to figure out which steps are required to perform this action, making the agent more reliable and quicker to respond. The agent has now responded, confirming that the document has been created and provided the details which were added to the document template in the chat for us to review. If we download the document and open it, we can see the agent has populated our document template with the relevant details for the campaign and added it to the correct sections of the document. This helps save time manually having to populate the document or even copying and pasting it into the template. We obviously need to verify the output to ensure it's correct and make amendments as we do with any AI generated content, but this is still much quicker than manually creating the document from scratch. If we wanted to make any amendments to the content, we can ask the agent in the chat window to change this and recreate the brief document. As we're happy with the content for the sake of this demo, we're now ready to start planning the campaign and need to assign tasks to certain members of the team. We can do this using Microsoft Planner. We ask the agent to then create a plan for this campaign. We can see the agent has loaded the skill for creating tasks in Planner. Again, this helps it perform the task with ease as it knows the exact steps to take to reach the desired result. The agent has responded stating that the tasks have been created. If we head over to Planner, we can see the newly created tasks. This helps streamline this process and provides consistency for marketing campaigns by keeping track of progress. We can now assign users to tasks and set due dates, either manually or via the chat window with the agent. We then ask the agent to assign the campaign build to myself and set a due date for the 25th of July. If we refresh in Planner, we can see the task is now assigned to myself with a due date set for the 25th of July. The aim here isn't to completely replace the process with AI, but to use AI to aid in brainstorming ideas and streamlining the process of creating the document template, as well as assigning tasks to the team. This is just one example of a Copilot agent. There are many more potential use cases. Hope you've enjoyed the demo. If you have any questions, please let us know in the chat and we will answer them as best as we can at the end. Over to you, Johnny.
Thanks, Neil. Really useful demo. Great example of how a Copilot agent can support marketing activity. So next, let's have a chat with Abby to get a marketing perspective. So let's just pop this on screen. So Abby, let's bring this into the day-to-day reality of marketing, not the big set piece use cases, but the regular tasks where Copilot genuinely starts to become part of the workflow. So Abby, how are you using Copilot day to day?
So Copilot has become a part of my everyday. I think a great example of this is in the Hit Webinar sub-brand. So we introduced a more relaxed tone of voice, and where I'm so used to using the traditional enhanced brand, it's been nice to have Copilot to keep me consistent and stop me slipping back into that tone of voice. So I often use Copilot to sense check over my content, ensure the tone is consistent, and it really does help adapt much faster instead of me having to start from scratch. And it just means I can focus on the correct messaging, and Copilot helps shape it into the right style.
Wow. So Copilot isn't just about creating content, it can also help make sense of information more quickly. Marketing teams sit on a lot of campaign, event, and audience data. How has Copilot changed the way you analyze information?
So I think it's probably made me more confident analysing information. So I used to rely a lot on functions when I was using data in Excel. And as great as they are, it is still very manual and there's a lot of room for error. And then not to mention the scrambling around, trying to fix the functions when they break. Whereas now I can simply ask, how many webinar registrations have attended more than one webinar? And I can quickly get the answer.
Perfect. So a lot of people expect one dramatic time-saving moment, but often the value is in the smaller tasks that add up across the week. What's the most surprising way Copilot has helped you save time?
So I don't think there's this one command that saves me hours, but it is just about being able to rely on Copilot throughout all the little tasks throughout my week. So for me, one of the biggest benefits is removing that mental block of a blank page when I start a new campaign or a blog post. And I use Copilot to help me create ideas that I can react to. And then it gives me that time back so I can take more time to do the creative or strategic parts of marketing.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely, when you're starting with a blank page, it really helps. So marketing often gets pulled into supporting other departments like sales, and those requests can be valuable but also disruptive. So how does Copilot help you contribute ideas and content for other teams without disrupting your own workload?
So yeah, we do tend to get involved supporting lots of different areas of the business. And then when something crops up from another department, Copilot helps me provide value much faster and still ensuring that everything stays aligned with the wider plan and strategy for marketing. But it just means that I can support more of our teams without feeling like every request will completely derail what I was already working on. And then the expertise still comes from the people in those departments, but Copilot helps me bridge that gap a bit quicker and turns their knowledge into useful content.
Fab. So last question. So trust is the question that everyone comes back to. We don't want to position Copilot as a magic answer. It still needs judgment and the right context. How much do you trust what Copilot produces?
So I trust Copilot to accelerate my work. It doesn't replace the thinking or the creativity. I use it personally to bounce ideas off when I'm trying to remove that writer's block of a blank page and to get me to that better first draft faster. I find the value is that it gives you that strong starting point, but the final decision always sits within marketing. Copilot just helps us get there a little bit quicker.
Brilliant. Thank you, Abby. That's a wrap. Thanks, everyone. Great questions. Thanks, Abby and Neil. So to wrap up, marketing pressure isn't going anywhere. Copilot just removes some of the admin and repetition so marketing teams can spend more time on strategy and creativity, the bits that actually matter. We'll share the recording in a few days. If you'd like to explore a Copilot use case, marketing or otherwise, we're happy to set up a short discovery session. If you'd like to do this, please reply to our follow-up email. We are running an event at the Hilton in Bournemouth on the 16th of September, which is focused on cybersecurity. So obviously there will be an AI element, but it's a bit more security focused. But we've got some great speakers. Please scan the QR code to register if you're interested. So I'll leave it on screen for a moment. But lastly, yeah, thank you for joining us today. Please keep an eye out for the next webinar.